Hey besties, it's Nat back again with another video. And today we need to ask Nintendo a question. Why can't we go in the lighthouse anymore? For those of you who are unaware, in the Nintendo GameCube version of Animal Crossing, you can go inside the lighthouse in your town. In January and February, Tortimer will go on vacation and he'll ask you, the player character, to light the town lighthouse for him. And you can actually go inside and light the lighthouse up. If you do it all of the days that he's on vacation, Tortimer will gift you the lighthouse model. And shout out to JVGS Jeff for this footage. He has a lot of footage of the older Animal Crossing games like City Folk and GameCube, so you should check out his channel if you haven't already. You probably heard of him, but if you haven't, it's a great channel and it's in the description. But yeah, we can't do that anymore. We can place the lighthouse object wherever we want, but we can't go inside of it. And I think that that is rude. So I decided to rectify that. There is a game where we can build a lighthouse and go inside of it, and that is The Sims 4. They recently added round walls to the game, and they're very glitchy, but I really wanted to try them out, test to see if I could build a lighthouse with them, and I decided to incorporate it into my current Let's Play on the channel, which is an Animal Crossing themed Sims 4 Legacy Challenge, where I have taken all of my villagers and I have put them into The Sims 4 and filled Windenburg with them. There's an explanation of the Let's Play in the video, but this video is also going to be a Q&A video to thank y'all for 13K, 13,000 subscribers. 13 is my lucky number, and I feel very lucky and very blessed to have all of you here. I'm so glad that you enjoy my videos in whatever capacity. If this is the first video you've ever seen, if you've watched every single video, I am thankful for all of you. So thank you so much for 13K, and let's get on with the video. Hey besties, it's VoiceOver Nat, and before we jump into the questions, I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial about how I built this lighthouse in The Sims 4. Now, we started off with the base, which is rounded at the front and then has a flat part in the back. That is because the rounded walls they recently added to the game are kind of finicky, and I wanted to have an easy way to connect the lighthouse to the actual main structure of the house itself. Now, to make the lighthouse part, the classic tall part of a lighthouse, I made the smallest possible round room that you can make in the game, so it was nice and skinny. And then the first two levels, I should say, of the lighthouse are the normal wall height, and then the second two are the tallest wall height, so we can get the maximum amount of tallness going on here. I popped a rounded roof on the top. I got a little spire. There's lots of little spire accents in different packs. I used one from Strangerville. There's also one in Get Together, which is the pack that has this world of Windenburg. Now we're working on the stairs, and the stairs are the reason that you are watching a recreation of a lighthouse and not the actual footage of me building the lighthouse, because it took me multiple hours to figure out these stairs. I wanted the stairs to curve around with curved floor pieces, and that is where I came into the issues. As you can see right now, we're placing a diagonal floor piece. I'm just building a little section. I curved the stairs off of the lighthouse and then placed them on when they were curved the proper direction. Building this little diagonal platform that is going to connect to the second set of stairs that are going to wrap around the other side of the lighthouse and lead to the top. And of course, there's a leaf blower outside of my house right now, so apologies if you can hear that. They will not leave me alone. But we're about to place the rounded balcony on the outside of the top of the lighthouse, which is honestly my favorite part of the build. I think it looks so cool. I wanted to have the entire thing have rounded edges, but unfortunately the stair piece just refused to place if the second level had a rounded edge, which is why it is diagonal instead of round. But the top level, we could do the rounded edge, which I think looks really, really good. One thing that I will recommend if you build something like this is to keep your rounded rooms intact away from the lighthouse so you can copy and paste them on top. That made it a lot faster to create these rounded edges. Messing with the rounded room tool, it is very glitchy, but it can have really awesome results, such as my gorgeous and stunning lighthouse. Now we're painting the outside. We've added the stairs in and all of the banisters and everything. I used the same metallic pattern that I used on the roof on the flooring to sort of tie everything in together and to make it look sort of industrial. The packs that I used to create this lighthouse were mainly Eco Lifestyle and the Werewolves pack. I used Eco Lifestyle for the wallpaper on the outside. There's this wallpaper that comes with the pack that's like plaster, and there's like a color variant, like a solid color variant and a two-tone variant, and I found that it was perfect for creating the striped effect that you see on the outside of a lot of lighthouses, including the one in New Horizons, like the one that you get from the kiosk. This blue color also extremely on point. They also had like a red and a yellow that I tried out. But yeah, that was how I used that pack. And then the werewolves pack I used for the stairs that wrap around, because they're like a corrugated metal stair. There's a similar staircase that comes with the Get to Work pack, as well as like a matching banister and a fence. But once again, you could very easily recreate this in base game. I also used some windows from Get Together and the high school pack. The high school pack specifically are the windows at the top, because they're rounded windows that curve along with the shape of the wall. But of course, once again, you could very easily recreate this with single tiled base game windows. But yeah, that is how I built a lighthouse in The Sims 4. And now we're going to move on to the rest of the speed build, which will be decorating the newest house for my Sims 4 X Animal Crossing Let's Play that I'm doing right now on the channel. Basically, I took all of my villagers from New Horizons, as well as some other villagers from different Animal Crossing games that I've played, and I turned them into Sims and put them into Windenburg. And we're doing a Legacy Challenge Let's Play where we're going to play 10 generations with this neighborhood full of Animal Crossing inspired Sims. So right now I am married. I'm playing as my Sim self, or my Animal Crossing villager character. I'm married to Chatter, who was my husband in New Leaf, but we cheated on him with Bo, and now we have 2 kids, one of whom is Chatter's son, Filbert, and then our daughter, Hazel, who is Bo's daughter. And we, you know, besides the whole infidelity thing, we're a happy family, and we are living in this gorgeous New England inspired house, which fits the theme of my New Horizons island. And, you know, it's just a vibe, besties, just a vibe. Now, this house in particular was based off of 2 things. The first was a little Simsy video that she posted maybe like a month and a half ago, where she built a house very similar to this. And I looked at the outside of the house and I was like, you need to put a lighthouse next to that. And the reason that I thought that is because of my second inspiration, which was the movie, The Lighthouse, which doesn't exactly fit with like the cutesy family gameplay vibes that this Let's Play has. Though, okay, to be fair, the whole cheating on my husband subplot was not very cutesy of me. But besides that, you know, the movie The Lighthouse is a lot more extreme than The Sims 4. So mostly inspiration in the architecture, and the inside of the house is much more cozy than that house in the movie is. And there's also no like lighthouse ghost or like Willem Dafoe yelling at you. So yeah, it was a loose interpretation of that house. I'll put it like that. But yeah, now that I have explained the footage that you're watching in front of you in this speed build, let's get right into some questions. This 13K Q&A. I'm so excited to answer these. All right, besties. First question from Leia Doodles: will you ever open a Discord? That is an easy question to answer because I already have a Discord. It is linked in the description. You have to be 16 years or older to join, and it's kind of fun in there. There's lots of talking and chatting and trading and fun stuff. I want to do more Discord events in the future, so be on the lookout for those. Second question is from Olivia Draper: what's your favorite Ghibli movie, and can we expect any more Ghibli builds anytime soon? To answer the second part of your question, I don't know when the next Ghibli inspired build is going to be. There may or may not be some anime inspired builds coming soon, but I'd love to do more Happy Home Paradise stuff soon, and that may be Ghibli themed. We'll see. But for my favorite Ghibli movie, that is a difficult question because there's a lot of Ghibli movies that I really like that I don't like to watch because they hurt me, and not in like the Grave of the Fireflies like very serious somber movie sort of way, but more in like the I see myself in this image and I do not like it kind of way. Like, I love Kiki's Delivery Service, but I cannot watch that movie. Like, it upsets me viscerally to watch that film. So for this answer, I might say Howl's Moving Castle or My Neighbors the Yamadas, because I like My Neighbors the Yamadas. It makes me laugh, unlike other Ghibli films. All right, next question. This one is from Stinky Horizons. What villager personality would you be if you were a villager in ACNH? I would probably be a sisterly villager. I have a lot of auntie-isms about me. Like, I'm very, I don't necessarily consider myself to be an old soul per se, but I definitely have some auntie mannerisms that I think would make me a sisterly villager, whether I wanted it to be or not. And you know, I love Fuchsia. Fuchsia's a baddie, so yeah, I would probably be a sisterly. The next 2 questions are both from Chemical Prisoner. Their first question is, what is your favorite island that you've seen besides your own? And that one's easy to answer because I've done several island tours that I'll link in the card. I have a playlist of them, and those islands are amazing. Go check out those. And also check out the creators on their Instagrams and stuff. And the second question was, what's your favorite AC related memory? My favorite Animal Crossing related memory, I'll give you 2. The first one, I've told this story many times because we do City Folk live streams pretty much once a week where we play City Folk, the Wii Animal Crossing game. And I talk about how I used to come home from school when I was in 5th grade and go upstairs to like the media room that had the TV in it and like a couch and the Wii. And I would get online and I would get on Animal Crossing. And I owned the Wii Speak, which was a terrible voice chat instrument, I guess, that Nintendo released with the Wii that was only compatible with like 6 games, and Animal Crossing was one of them. And I would get on Wii Speak voice chat with my friend Daniel, who was my only other friend I knew who had Nintendo Online, and we played City Folk together. So that's my first memory, is playing Animal Crossing with Daniel. My second memory would probably be being like an extremely little kid who could barely read and was playing the GameCube Animal Crossing that I rented from Blockbuster down the street, and playing it at like 3 a.m. and being very confused as to why like the music was weird and no one was awake. Actually, it was probably 2 a.m. then, because the 2 a.m. music in GameCube is pretty crazy. But yeah, those are my Animal Crossing memories for you. I guess a third memory would be playing the 2.0 update on my very first live stream over here on YouTube. I was running that live stream literally off my laptop in my bed, and it was so janky, but it was a lot of fun. So I guess that's something that's fun about streaming, is getting to make new memories, or new Animal Crossing memories, making videos, doing live streams. So yeah, that's my third answer to that question. And they're back at it with the leaf blowers, because of course they are. I got a lot of questions about astrology. People ask me what my sign is and what like my favorite or least favorite sign is. I am an Aquarius, if you couldn't tell by how quirky and different I am. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo, besties. And I am a Virgo moon and rising sign, okay? So the two Virgos are fighting really hard to get me to be type A personality, and then the Aquarius is, I'm off doing something else. So that is why the way I am, I guess. As for favorite or least favorite signs, I wouldn't, I'm not that type of person to be saying, my favorite or least favorite of anything. But yeah, I guess I'm biased towards Aquariuses because we are sort of rare. I don't meet a lot of Aquariuses, and they're all baddies. So yeah, that's my answer to that. The next question is from Blemons, and it's what brought you to Georgia from Maine? And the answer to that is school. And then another question from Andrea, are you in school and what are you majoring in? I have been on and off with school, but I came here intending to study to be a teacher, and I would still like to be a teacher someday in the future, if I don't become the world's most famous and successful streamer, of course, which is my other goal. So yeah, those are the answers to both of those questions. All right, ooh, woof, this next one. Speaking of moving, besties, from Cold Handwich, can we get the story of why you moved? I need the tea. Now, for those of you who don't know, I moved this summer to my own apartment for the first time. I used to live with roommates, and I had a feeling that I was going to move into my own place around that time, but this is sort of the inciting incident of that, where it's like, it's not a choice anymore. Like, no, you have to move. And so I'm going to tell that story now, but just a heads up, trigger warning, this story does involve guns. So if that, luckily, I will say, no, as far as I know, no one was harmed. But if that does bother you, I'll put a timestamp in the description. You could skip this story. But yeah, my old apartment, I was living with 2 roommates. One of them I had lived with in a previous apartment. We were living it was a pretty big apartment, and I liked the neighborhood. Like, I liked the people there. I liked the distance to different things that I needed to go to. It was next to an extremely busy street, besties. If you go back at my old videos, all I did was complain about the street because I had to record at like 2 a.m. when there was no sound. But one thing about the neighborhood, once again, I don't like the idea of calling something a bad neighborhood, because like, you don't know the people that live there, and a lot of times it's just meant to scare people, but it's not that scary. I will say though, neighborhood had a lot of guns, okay? There was a lot of shooting happening. Hearing gunshots at night was not uncommon. So, keep that in mind as I'm telling this story. So, last spring, it was a normal day. I was hanging out, chilling in my room. That, by the way, was facing the busy street. And I hear gunshots going off. It was pretty early at night too. It was like 9 p.m. and it was a drive-by. So you hear like the car revving, and then you hear like pop, 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 and it was really loud. So I knew it was close, but I didn't know how close it was. I just knew it was close by, and then you hear the car driving away. So as soon as I heard the sound, I texted my roommate like, "Hey, did you hear that?" But sort of in like a knowing type of way of like, because we hear this all the time, like, "Hey, did you hear that?" And she didn't answer, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. And I just went back to minding my business. I didn't hear any more gunshots after that. I didn't hear any sirens. I was like, you know what? It's the typical drive-by happening in this neighborhood. A little earlier than normal, but you know, whatever. A couple hours pass, and then I hear my roommate come home because she was working, and she was like driving for Uber Eats. And she comes home, and I hear her come in, and she goes down the hall to her room, and she opens the door, and I hear her like gasp, and then she curses, and then she runs down the hall and like pounds on my door, and then she runs back down the hall and pounds on our roommate's door. And so I get up and I'm like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on? And I open my door, and she asked me, am I okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And the reason that she had been pounding on the door is because she had gotten home from working and walked into her room, and the first thing that she sees is a hole in her window, and then like a ricochet mark on the wall, and then like a metal casing on her bed. And of course, this is like the scariest part of this, because thank God that she wasn't at home when this happened. But when we heard the sounds, I heard them. I noticed that they were loud, but I didn't realize how close they were. And I didn't hear the glass shatter or anything like that. Neither did my other roommate, who had also been at home at the time and whose room is closer to my roommate's room that the bullet went through the window. And also, for further context, we lived essentially on like the third floor of this building, so we were not anywhere near the street. So that bullet went up. It went vertical to get as far as it did into her window. But yeah, that's what happened. The first thing that we did was we went downstairs to check on our neighbors who were below us, because they have young kids. So like not only were they closer to the street, but also it's like we were worried about them. So we went downstairs, we checked on them, everyone was fine downstairs. Then we made sure to we emailed our landlord like, hey, so there's a bullet hole in our window in our apartment. And then we called the police, and they came and picked up the bullet. I don't know where it went. I don't know what they did with it. They never contacted us again. But our landlord replaced the window a day later. And at that point, all of our parents had found out, because we're all college student age, and they were like, you can't live there anymore. You cannot, we will not allow it. So at that point, we immediately sent in like, hey, we are not renewing our lease. We are getting out of here. This has been fun, but can't live here anymore. So that is why I moved. Long story short. Oh, and fun fact, the fact that I sent that text message actually ended up, I actually can't say if it was helpful to the police, because I don't know if they investigated anything. I don't know if they cared, even though there were children in the building who were in danger, but that's none of my business. All I know is that the text message is how we figured out the exact time that this shooting happened, because I texted as soon as I heard the sounds. And apparently my roommate, who had been doing Uber Eats at the time, she had been down the street picking up food when the shooting happened, and she could hear it from where she was. So she had also heard it, but she didn't know how close it was to our apartment. So yeah, that is the story of why I moved, besties. Obviously there were other factors of like, you know, it was just the timing and everything. And once again, the noise was difficult, though. That is very funny for me to say that I wanted to move to be in a quieter neighborhood when there's leaf blowers 24/7 now in my current neighborhood. But yeah, that's why I moved. They shot at my house. And so far living here, I have not gotten shot at once. So that is definitely an improvement, I would say. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, I don't really know how to move on from that question, so we're just gonna do it. This one is from Soft Fuzzy Ma'am. Do you like mudkip? Yes, I do, but the meme is, do you like mudkips, plural? Not to be a pedant, but just so you know, bestie, that's the meme. I'm sure you do know. I'm just messing with you. God. Next question. Oh, this one from Scarlet Switch is actually kind of related to what we were talking about earlier, actually. What job/type of jobs have you had? The reason I was inspired to become a teacher was because I taught at a summer camp for many, many years. I taught like poetry and performing arts and stuff. So that is sort of where I got the itch to be a teacher. Though I did have a job. I had a job working at like a local video rental place when I was like in middle school, just like stocking the DVD shelves and the VHS shelves. They did have VHS there, okay? I did live in the middle of nowhere, so they did stock VHS tapes in the store. But that only lasted a little while, and you know, it was just some guy paying me under the table. I was definitely not old enough to be working. And then when I was in high school, I also worked part-time at an old-fashioned soda counter that was inside of a drugstore. So it was like a working drugstore. Like they would fill your prescription. There was a pharmacist on staff, and they had like rows with like toiletries and other items like that. But then inside of it, there was also an old-fashioned like 1950s soda counter with like the levers and everything. So my job was to work as like a retail employee and serve food. And we weren't just making drinks, we were serving food. Like I would have to be the only employee there, and I would sit there and I would like make a grilled cheese while like a father and daughter watched me make their grilled cheese for them. And as you can imagine, it was terrible, and I quit after like maybe 2 weeks, maybe not even 2 weeks, more like a couple of days. I was not there for a long time. I went right back. I was still working at the summer camp. I'm like, you know what, this is enough money for me. I don't need to be working retail and food in the same job, and I'm like the only employee there half the time for the amount of money they're paying me. Absolutely not. So yeah, those were the jobs that I have worked in the past. All right, this next question is from Zion Crossing, who you should all go follow on their Instagram and watch the island tour that I did of their island. It's linked in the card. Anyways, he asked me, do you have any pets? What are their names and what are they? I do not currently have any pets, and it makes me sad. I really, really want a cat. I think I might get a cat, but don't hold me to it. I am self-aware of the fact that I need to take care of me before I can take care of a cat. So that is why I've been holding off on it. Also, I recently got a very nice couch that I do not want to get ripped up, and that makes me nervous, and so I have not gotten a cat. But I grew up having a lot of pets. We have had cats, we've had dogs, we've had all types of birds. We've had tropical birds, we've had chickens. You know, we've had it all, besties. My sibling, one time when they were younger, they went through a rat phase where we had rats, like little like white lab rats. So yeah, I'm very familiar with pets, and I do miss having a pet, so I might get a pet, who knows. This question is from Clever Tulip. Can you get into voice acting? You sound like the bee in the Bee and Puppy Cat anime. This question struck me, one, because I think that is very hilarious. I get a lot of voice comparisons. Someone said that I sound like Billie Eilish. Somebody said that I sound like Madison Beer. I don't know what Madison Beer sounds like, but I think that the voice comparisons are very funny. But I used to sing in high school, and I did acting. I won awards, besties. I was good at acting when I was in high school, as many a high schooler is. But I do miss acting, and I mean I wouldn't be opposed to becoming a voice actor. I like theater, besties. That's why I taught it to little children. It's much cuter when little children are doing it, though. I will say that. Like, as much as I am charmed and enjoy acting and theater and film and everything, there's nothing better than like a school play written by third graders and then performed by said third graders. That nothing beats it. Absolutely nothing. That didn't actually really answer your question. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't have any plans to become a voice actor, but you know, I like performing arts, so I wouldn't be fully opposed to it. This is another question from Andrea. What was your fave gen of Pokemon? I am a Gen 4 kid. I grew up with Gen 4. I had a DS as a kid. I had the Game Boy games. I had Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I had a copy of Emerald, but I never beat them because I was too stupid to figure them out. So Pokemon Pearl specifically was the first Pokemon game that I ever beat by myself. So I have a very nostalgic attachment for it, even though it is very much a slow, badly paced mess of a game with a terrible Pokedex. Oh my god, the Gen 4 Dex is a mess, especially like pre-Platinum. But I'm very nostalgic for Gen 4, and I'll always love those games. And the music, oh my god. For anime, though, gotta go Gen 7. Sun and Moon anime, y'all know I will not shut up ever about the Sun and Moon anime. It is so charming. If you like animation, go watch it. It's on, the first episode's on YouTube. You can go watch it right now. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. All right, next question, an Animal Crossing question. Wow, on my Animal Crossing YouTube channel. Who would have thought? From Toby Time. What's your favorite season to play in ACNH, both event-wise and aesthetic/visual-wise? I would say my favorite season is probably September. It's August and September, because August has the Fireworks Festival, which is my favorite event in the game. And then September is just gorgeous, and I love the way that it sort of transitions into fall. So I guess that would be my favorite season in the game. And that's probably where I'll set my dream address, but we'll see. Toby Time also asked, who's your favorite villager outside of your own, and what's your favorite personality type in Animal Crossing New Horizons? My favorite villagers that I don't have currently on my island would probably be Pee-wee. I love Pee-wee. I don't know, there's something about him. I just think he's just a cutie. Like, and I love gorillas in real life, so That would be my answer for that. And then my favorite personality type, that's really hard because I really like the villager personalities. Maybe Smug, because I just think that their dialogue in New Horizons is really funny, though I have a really soft spot for the cranky villagers because I like the I like how they're mean to you and then they like warm up to you. It's a nice like dynamic to have with a character in the game. Ooh, bestie, speaking of villagers, Hannah P asks, what villagers would you want on a future island? Now, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I recently got a second Switch thanks to all of your help and your support of the channel, and I'm going to be doing a second island, and I have not revealed the theme yet. I'm probably going to reveal the theme when we actually start making videos about that island, but I have picked out the villagers, and I have revealed some of the villagers that I'm going to have on the island, so I'll reveal them to you now in video form. The 3 villagers that I know that I want on my new island are Petrie the Mouse, Kyle the Wolf, and Hopper the Penguin. So if you can guess the theme off of those 3 villagers, I commend you. I've had a little bit of trouble picking villagers, but those 3 came to me pretty naturally, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna pick those. So yeah, that's my newest hint for the island theme. Once again, no one has guessed it correctly, and I enjoy reading your guesses, so feel free to leave them in the comments. Another slightly related question from Dylan Sims. What is your favorite animal? I know it's basic, but I'm curious. Also, Elliot says hi. Hi, Elliot. My favorite animal, that's a good question. I guess you could say I really like chimps and gorillas and orangutans. I love like baby chimps and orangutans. They're so cute. Their heads are all fuzzy. I love them so much. I also really like deep sea creatures. Like I love like a giant squid or like a sperm whale or like something scary that lives in the ocean at the bottom of the ocean that you don't know what it is. I love animals like that. Recently, Amanda Files did a Halloween related video where she talked about like scary animals and that she likes, and I really related to that because I too love scary animals. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Bunny emoticon person asks, if you had to choose one villager to keep as your roommate, who would it be and why? First of all, the use of the word keep in this sentence is very interesting. Keeping them, it sounds more like a pet, but this is a good question because I found a lot of my villagers, although very cute, to be very irritating, and I don't think that I would enjoy being roommates with them. I guess the easy answer would be maybe Kiki or another normie villager because they seem like the easiest to get along with. Not Coco though. I would not live with Coco. So maybe Kiki. That's a good answer. Ooh, Boss Baby asks, the art in your profile / title cards is so cute. Is it yours? If so, do you post your art anywhere else? That art is not mine. That art is made by the incredible Zoomies by Zoe over on Instagram, who you should all go follow. They're an amazing artist. They made all of my channel art. They helped me pick out colors. I could not recommend them enough. That just go check out their stuff. They're so cool and they make amazing art, and they're an art student right now, and you should just like go comment and like their posts and share them and help them blow up because they deserve it. Boss Baby also asked, what is your favorite beverage? And I would say anything that's like sugar in water. You know, okay, there's a scene in the first Men in Black movie where the alien like lands at the farmhouse and then the guy goes outside and then the alien takes over his body and then he walks back in the house as the alien and then he asks his wife for sugar in water and she's looking at him like, sir, what do you mean? But you know, she makes him a glass of sugar and water and it's like butterfly food. That's what butterflies eat. Okay. That's what I like to eat also. So any sugary drink, I love. It's a problem. It is a problem, I will admit. But yeah, I love like any like refresher juice type of business. I do drink a little bit of soda as well. So yeah, something sugary and sweet. Glassy Edgar asked, since Chester is Revelove, love that for him, who is his bias in the group? I'm just gonna say Solgi just because she had her first mini album come out. So stream 28 Reasons. For those of you who don't know, in the City Folk streams, Chester is one of the villagers in my town, and his catchphrase is rookie, so we've decided that he's a Red Velvet stan. Maddie Lack asks, what's your favorite Animal Crossing NPC of all time? And Healthy Lemon asks, what's one NPC you wish didn't come back to ACNH, and which one would you replace them with? So my favorite NPC of all time, that's a really difficult one. I'll answer Healthy Lemon's question first. I would say, I hate to say Isabel because I feel like that's the obvious answer because like she doesn't do anything anymore and it's sad. But one that I would like to come back are the Pelicans. I feel bad. I like the Dodo brothers well enough. They're very cute. But I really miss the pelicans. I miss their drama. They had so much drama going on, and I miss when they delivered the mail twice a day, and you'd see the guy come down, and he'd float down, and he'd put your mail in your mailbox. It was cute. So my favorite NPC of all time, that's I don't know. Wendell, I guess, maybe, or Captain. Captain's my favorite. I'll say Captain's my favorite because I love him. Who doesn't love Captain? And I'm a big CJ stan. I feel like CJ gets left out because Flick is so popular, but I'll stan CJ if no one else will. So he'll always have a fan, and it'll be me. Tony Hawk's Moving Castle asks, what other themes would you like to do on your island? That is a very good question because I feel like Nautilus, I had a plan for it going into the game when it came out, and that plan has evolved over the years, but I do really like the idea of like a little like town on an island, mostly because I grew up in a town on an island, so I'm a little biased. But I would love to try like a city core theme. I think that would be kind of fun, like a more urban theme, or even more like a more rural theme, like even more rural than I have now, like without roads, like going back to the path type of vibe instead. I think that would be kind of fun. Claire Hawthorne asked, you've been stranded on a villager hunt island. Who is the villager there with you? I feel like, knowing me and knowing my luck, it would be Frida. Frida was my first villager, technically. You know how you get like a sisterly and a jock? I had Frida and Cody as my two starter villagers, and I did hate both of them. I'm not gonna lie. I know Frida has fans, but I cannot get over. She doesn't know what she wants to be. Okay, she has like a hot dog outfit, but then she's like hamburger bun ears, and then fries and ketchup, and it's like pick a lane, okay? Like be one fast food. Don't be all fast food. You can't be a hot dog and a hamburger. She bothers me immensely. And then Cody, I don't know, Cody just got on my nerves. So probably one of them, knowing me, I'm gonna be honest. Or Hans. Y'all know how I feel about Hans. I don't even want to get into it with Hans. Oh, see, these are much better villagers. Adelaide Taylor's version asked, Bo or Bob? This is a hard question. This really gets to the roots, because I used to be enemies with Bo. Bo used to send me a lot of fake art in the mail, and it really got on my nerves, and like, stop trying to scam me. This is rude, especially because like I know that he knows how to paint, so like stop making forgeries. But we made up and we're friends now. He hosted my birthday party. It was very wonderful. And then in this game, The Sims, that you're looking at right now on your screen, unless you're not looking at the screen, which is totally valid, and you just want to hear my gorgeous and stunning voice speak to you through my terribly set up microphone. Bo and I had a little bit of a encounter, several encounters actually. We and unfortunately, Bob had to bear witness to that. Bob, I don't know if he and Bo were dating, but Bob had a thing for Bo, and Bo, he was a little bit, he had a few people in his life, and, he got around, he continues to get around in The Sims. So how about I say Bob in Animal Crossing and Bo in The Sims? Is that a good answer? That's my answer. Final answer. Ooh, Ferdav Gomez, or Ferdav Gomez. I want to pronounce your name correctly, because you asked a very kind and flattering question. How is it that you come up with so many interesting concepts and ideas? I'm a new AC player. Thank you for thinking that my concepts are interesting. I guess, well, for my island, my inspiration came from real life, so I guess that's kind of cheating. And it's not cheating. It's good to get inspiration from real life. That's my first answer, is get inspired by real life. Sort of like, how people in The Sims, they would like Google like a house floor plan, and how it would help them build a house. The Animal Crossing, the same thing applies. Make a mood board, think of things from real life that you'd love to replicate in the game, or from like a movie or a TV show or a book that you really like. And then I also really just love experimenting. I love having the Happy Home Paradise expansion, because I love building in the game. If you're not into the game or the series for like the decorating aspect, then you might not get a lot out of that expansion. But if you love to decorate, then I think that the Happy Home Paradise expansion is really great, because it gives you the maximum amount of room to experiment and to like try something completely different. Like if my island is one theme, I can go to Happy Home Paradise and I can just like go crazy. And the villagers give you prompts too, so it's like, oh, you know, one person's interpretation of like a cafe for a villager might be completely different than someone else's interpretation. And then of course my third is that y'all know my motto, I love to steal. I love being in the community and getting inspired by other people in the community. There's definitely, if you're on social media too much, you can get sort of like FOMO, or like you can get sort of imposter syndrome of like, my thing doesn't look as cool as this person's thing. But I think the best way to look at it is to look at it in a more positive light of like, oh, this person made this really cool thing, and that makes me want to make a really cool thing. Like when I watch other people make Animal Crossing videos or Sims videos and I see them building something, it makes me want to open the game and build something, if that makes sense. Like I'm always inspired by other people as opposed to worrying about like, oh, well, someone else did something that was super cool and I can't do that. No, you can. You can do something super cool, and don't be afraid to take inspiration. You know, it's one thing to be worried about like, oh, my island has to look exactly like this person's island, or my build has to look exactly like this person's build, or it won't be cool. No, if you're inspired by something, you take inspiration from it as opposed to worrying about like copying it or looking the same way as it, because that's the cool thing to do. Then it'll come out a lot better because it's from your brain, which is unique and special. That was, see, the auntie popped out, but it's true. Aunties are right when they tell you that you're unique and special, because you are. There's no one else like you. And if you create things, then those are unique pieces of art that only you could create. This is getting way too existential for Animal Crossing or for The Sims, to be honest, but it's true. So think about that. Anyways, I hope that was a good answer. This next one isn't really a question, but I thought that it was in the same spirit. And I just want to say thank you, Pumi Pam, for the wonderful message. They're a longtime viewer, and they messaged and they left a message saying how proud they are of me, and that really warmed my heart. So thank you so much. It was great it's honestly genuinely great to hear from you. I love responding to comments, even if I don't go back to all of them. I love going through them and reading them and seeing, you know, people I've never seen before, seeing people that I've seen a long time ago, seeing, you know, seeing the regulars and the stream chats and everything. It's an absolute joy. And actually, I think that leads really well into the next question, which is from Sarah Tunes. What is something that you didn't expect but really love about playing games on YouTube? There are a couple of things. One is, I have a love-hate relationship with editing, and I feel like a lot of creators, especially if you're like a smaller creator and you do all of your own editing, I have a love-hate relationship with it, because on the one hand, editing can be very frustrating and time-consuming, and like, you know, you want to play the game. You don't want to edit a video, but sometimes you do, because editing can really help bring out like the best parts of a video. Like when I go back and I edit live streams to turn them into videos, there's always like oh, that was a really funny joke, or like, oh, you know, that was a really funny chat message, and you can add in like pictures and the cuts and everything. That was the dumbest way of explaining that I could have possibly done. But even though it's frustrating sometimes, I do like being able to edit my own videos, because I feel like it helps add to like my creative voice, I guess. And I love being creative. That's why I do creative games like this. And then I guess another thing is I really love streaming more than I thought that I would. I was nervous to start streaming, but then again, I do love to talk. So I'm surprised that I was surprised by my love of streaming. And just like getting to know people, having like positive interactions with people. And you know, a lot of them are just brief. You know, it's like someone leaves a comment like, I really like your videos, I watch them and they make me, you know, I like having, you know, a little voice in my ear. That is like the best possible comment I can receive, even if I never hear from that person ever again. Just like because, you know, the videos, they're casual and they're just meant to be fun and happy, and they're not that serious. They're just, you know, they're my hobby. And I'm glad that I get to share my hobby with other people, and that people enjoy my creativity, and that they enjoy hearing me talk, because I love to talk, as I mentioned before. And that, you know, if you're lonely, or if you are having a hard time, or you just like you need to have something going on in your ear, I'll be that thing in your ear. I love that. If you need someone to fall asleep to, please. I am so genuinely honored and flattered that you would choose my voice to hear while you fall asleep to a YouTube video. But yeah, I guess those are the most surprising things. Though I guess those are sort of obvious things. I guess they're just surprising because it sort of just hits you like, oh, this is really fun. I love this. Ghosts32 asked, favorite build you did in Animal Crossing? Probably my campsite. Every time I go there, I'm like, wow, this looks good. Wow, it lags, but it looks good. I'm gonna put the link to the campsite video in the card because I also think it's one of my better videos and I enjoy it immensely. So I'll say the campsite. And a bunch of people asked questions about the new island and plans for the future, so I figured I should save those for the end. As I mentioned before, I revealed recently on stream the three villagers that I have so far picked out for the new island, who are Petrie, the wolf guy whose name I forgot, and Hopper. Who's the wolf guy? Hold on a minute. I had it opened up. It was Kyle. Those are the 3 villagers that I have definitively picked out for the island. The rest of them, I don't know. I think we're gonna have 4 player character houses, and I mentioned this before, it's based off of a thing. It's not a Ghibli island, but that's not a really, I wouldn't say that's a close guess. It's not a far away guess. I think I mentioned before that the thing is animated, but if not, that's a new clue. So there you go. So far, no one has guessed it, which is immensely fun for me. I really enjoy that. So keep guessing. I love reading guesses in the comments. Once again, no one's guessed it. You know what? If one of you does guess it, I will announce that someone has guessed it. I won't say who, but I will announce that someone has guessed it, and you will get the joy of assuming that you are correct until proven otherwise, which will be very soon. I have a lot of games that I have to buy this month, and a lot of like gaming related things that I have to buy, as well as, normal things I have to buy in life. So I think I'm gonna start the new island probably after Thanksgiving. That is when I'm going to premiere it. I'm gonna do a stream of me speed running Happy Home Paradise for the new island as well. Though I don't know, I think I want to do the reveal before I do that. So I don't know if that will come first or if my first villager hunt will come first. We'll see. But my first villager hunt is coming up soon. I'll probably stream that before the end of the year. And Nautilus 1.0 will be wrapping up soon. That will be done by the end of the year, so you can all visit the DA. And I also got a question asking about plans for content in the future, which I am very excited about. I want to play more games. Like, I love playing different games that aren't Animal Crossing, and I know that, people are like, Animal Crossing's dead, no one's playing Animal Crossing anymore. I'm playing Animal Crossing, I'm starting a new island. I don't know what you're doing. That's none of my business, but I'm excited to start the new island. I'm excited to try different games. I know we're going to be playing a lot of Pokemon, okay? I'm not saying this is going to become Pokemon channel or anything, but there will be a lot of Pokemon on the channel. And there's other like indie games that are coming out that I'm excited about. They just announced Wobble Dogs for Switch, which I'm so excited about. I haven't had a chance to play Wobble Dogs, and that game looks like so much fun. Same with oh my god, Ooblets. I want to play Ooblets really badly. So there's lots of indie games coming out that I want to try on stream and everything, and maybe edit into videos. I've been enjoying The Sims as well. I have big plans for The Sims Let's Play going in the future. So check out The Sims Let's Play. That's the thing that you're looking at right now. This house that we're building is for that family, and I'll put a link in the card. I should have said that earlier. I probably put one in earlier, but if not, it's in the card. So there you go. But yeah, we're just about done with the build and with the questions. Thank you all so much for submitting questions. I could not get to all of your questions, even though I did have 40 minutes to do it, but I appreciate every single one of you who left a question and who likes my videos, watches the videos, comments on the videos, shares the videos with your friends, falls asleep to the videos. Thank you all so much. A year ago, I think just now maybe hitting 1K. I had my first video past 1,000 views, and now we're at 13. So here's to 13 more thousand subscribers, and then who knows? That is going to be it for the Q&A and for the speed build. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for subscribing and for being here and for commenting. Every single little bit of support really warms my heart, like genuinely. Like, I cannot, literally a year ago, I think I was getting hyped for like my first video to hit 1,000 views, and now look at this. I mean, I just, like, it feels unreal. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I did accidentally miss an upload this week. Normally, I upload Animal Crossing content here twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And I also stream over here on YouTube as well. This weekend, we will be streaming the Pokemon Splatfest over in Splatoon 3. We also stream Animal Crossing City Folk. We stream Happy Home Paradise. We do a lot of stuff over here. So if you really liked this video and you want to see more videos like this, you can hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time that I post. You can also leave a comment and a like. That really, really helps me out. You can also check out my Discord and my Instagram linked in the description. With all that being said, I will see you all again on Wednesday. Bye, besties.